Hare Krishna. Today we will be discussing Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 13. Dehinosmin yadha dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara tadha dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. Now Krishna in the previous verse, he established that he himself, Arjuna, and all these soldiers on the battlefield, they were all eternal. They were eternal individuals in the past. They are individuals now, and they will continue to be individuals in the future as spirit souls. But now, what happens to that body that they have inhabited now? So now Krishna answers that. Asmin dehe, dehinaha means the person who has got that body. Dehinaha. Like we have got this vastra, vastrinaha means the person who is wearing the vastra. So dehinaha means one who has got this body. So the person who has got this body, dehinaha, yadha asmin dehe, in this body, he goes through these different stages. Kaumaram, yavanam, jara. Kaumaram means 5 years of age. And yavanam means 15 years of age. Jara means old age. Of course, the old age is now coming closer. So, in this, typically, the idea is as the spirit soul passes through these phases from being child, from being young, from being middle aged, and then old age. So, Kaumaram Yavanam Jara Yadha Dehe Asmin Dehe. Similarly, Tadha Dehantara Praptihi. At the end of the body, when the body dies, the soul attains another body. Deha Antara. Antara means at the end of Deha. Praptihi. It attains another body. Therefore, Dhiraha Tatra na muhyati. In that matter, Dhiraha, a person who is called a Dhira or a sober person, na muhyati, should not get bewildered, because only the body is changing. The soul does not change. So the self-realized soul, Prabhupada is calling in the translation, Dhira, as the self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. So this is the point. Sometimes when we go to distribute the books, Bhagavad Gita, we show these people. People are very curious about reincarnation. So we show this picture which has the soul passing like a light particle passing through different stages of bodies, from being a baby to a child, and to a young man, to a middle-aged man, to an old man, and then eventually it becomes a skeleton, and then the soul passes on to another body. So this is a very interesting picture we show, and people become very curious. Oh, because of course the Indian background is that people understand we are Atma, we are spirit soul, and there is next life based on our karma, and we had a previous life and we got a human body based on our good karma, and if we misuse this body we get a bad body. Karmana daivanetrena jantur papattaye. By higher superintendence, daivanetrena, by our karma, we are adjudicated. The next body is given. But all this is not known to the Western population. They think that, one time I had a conversation with a Westerner. When I said the soul is there passing through these different bodies, he said, no, there is no soul. All we have is this body. And then I asked, what is the difference between a dead body and a body which is alive? And he said, yes, we are conscious. the dead body is not conscious. At certain combinations, body becomes dysfunctional, and then we are dead. There is no soul. We are either alive or dead. If I am an old man, that's who I am. If I am a young man, that's who I am. That means I am changing. So he adheres to the position that we constantly change, and that's who we are. And at the end of death, we cease to exist. There is no more we, there is no more I. And we came into being at certain point in the womb of the mother, certain point the consciousness comes, and so on and so forth. So it's a speculation. It's not based on science, because if the consciousness comes into being at a certain point and then goes away, so can they keep the consciousness alive? If science is what it is claiming to be, can they figure out that combination? What is that combination of chemicals that is producing consciousness? Why can't they inject that to keep the body alive? If they cannot do that, they cannot claim that what they are saying is true. So this is really simple. The difference between the dead body and a living body is the consciousness. And reincarnation really is not even about going to another body. Even within the same body, we are reincarnating. Like a decade ago, I wouldn't look anywhere closer to how I am looking now. Or when I was born as a baby, when I was a child, we looked completely different. Where was that body? This is also reincarnation. So reincarnation is not something, a myth, that happens at the end of the body. We don't even know where you will go. How do I believe? No, even in this life, you can see our body is completely changed. This is also part of reincarnation. So a dhira is not bewildered, because he knows that we are spirit soul, we cannot be annihilated. Even though we may get a different body, like Krishna is encouraging Arjuna to see, you see these elders that you are thinking about, Bhishma, Drona, and so on and so forth, either they will get a heavenly body, because one who dies in a heroic way in the battlefield, dharmic battlefield, he will go to higher destination. So he will get a nice body. Now they are all old. What enjoyment they will have in this body? They will get a heavenly body. Or even better, if they think of Krishna at the time of death, by seeing Krishna, they will go back to Godhead in a spiritual body, even better. So either way you see, that is only good for them. You're not going to kill their soul. And then Krishna is saying, a dhira is not bewildered. You see, in this world, why we are always in anxiety? Sada samudvigna dhiyam asadgrahat. Tat sadhu manye asuravarya dehinam. Sada samudvigna dhiyam asadgrahat. Hitvatmapatam gruhamandhakupam. Vanam gato yad harimashrayeta. So, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad Maharaj, after he was taught in the school for some time, he was after all going to be the next king for his demoniac family. And then Hiranyakashipu wanted to train him in all these tricks, how to rule with all kinds of manipulation and all these things. And then he asked, "Oh, my dear son, what did you learn at school?" And then he started to say, Tat sadhu manye asuravarya dehinam. He didn't even call him as father. He said, Asuravarya, oh best of the demons. And he said, that I consider the best, sadhu manye, for a person who is always in anxiety. Why? Sada samudvigna dhyam asadgrahat. He is in anxiety because he is considering this asat to be his own self, this body to be his self. It's a very profound realization by a small child, which even the most educated people now are not having. That our anxiety is because we consider this body as eternal, this body as me. Why everybody was anxious about COVID? Because it's a very concerning disease, and that will potentially can put us, our body, to death. Nobody wants to die. Nobody, why people hate moving houses, people hate to live in rental houses, they want to buy, because that's the nature of the soul. The soul does not die, or does not, in the spiritual world there is no change of body. The soul always wants to be happy, doesn't want to be put in uncomfortable situation. The soul is anandamayo bhyasat. Why we are forced to get diseased, why we are forced to face old age, why we are forced to face death, it's all because of this body. The spirit soul is hating all these things. We feel uneasy about it because naturally we are spirit soul. We have those tendencies to be eternal, to be happy, to be not changing the bodies. But unfortunately, if you come to this material world, you have to change. Somebody asked me a question, Prabhu, if Krishna wanted, he could have made us eternal, our body as eternal. Why this body is temporary? Krishna could have made our body eternal. That means Krishna does not like us enjoying in this world. So it's like saying, why in the prison they make you work so hard? Why in the jail there is so much of hard work and less freedom? The question may be, oh, why can't the government make the jail very happy? No, the purpose is not to make a happy place. The purpose is to reform the person who fell from his free status because he committed a crime. He needs to learn and realize the mistake and seek to come back and earn that freedom and enjoy that free world again. So this material world is designed to be a place of hard work. Avidya karma samgnanya tritiya shakti rishyate. This tritiya shakti of the Lord, the material energy. The Lord has broadly three energies. Vishnu Shakti para prokta kshetragnakya tadha para avidya karma samgnanya tritiya shakti rishyate. His spiritual energy by which his spiritual world runs, and then there is spirit soul, which is also spiritual energy, the jivas, and then the material energy. If you choose to come to this third energy, tritiya shakti, you have to work hard. There is only hard work and distress. Dukkhalayam mashashvatam. So changing the body is part and parcel of that mechanism. The matter is not eternal. If you accept a body made of material things, naturally you have to, that will wear out. There is a cycle. So that is why there is a reincarnation, there is a change of body in this world. And therefore Prahlad Maharaj says, Sada samudvigna dhyam asat grahat, because we have accepted this asat, there is always going to be change of or anxiety. When Prabhupada came to US, you see, he came by cargo ship and he faced severe seasickness. If you have not experienced seasickness, dizziness, it's, you won't even imagine how horrible it will be. There will be vomiting, there will be uncomfortable sensation, there will be dizziness. You cannot eat, you cannot digest, you cannot sleep, you cannot function. And what to speak of an old person? Of course, he was transcendental, but he was playing the part in this world, working for the Lord, serving the Lord, accepting the difficulties of the material world. So he's got an old body, but because he was transcendental, dhira, dhirastatra namuhyati, he was not bewildered. Because he didn't consider his body to be his self. An ordinary person, as Prahlad Maharaj says, Sada samudvigna dhiyam asadgrahat. So when we are faced with agitation or unpleasant situation, we become adhira. So knowledge is required. Just like if you are familiar about a place, if you are knowledgeable about how it works, then you won't feel nervous. Oh, this is what they are doing. They are asking me questions about my entry, and I have all the documentation. This is how I have to go. You won't feel any nervous because you know for sure where you are going. So likewise, when you are knowledgeable about this, all of these things, then you won't become bewildered. This is called dhiraha. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says, get out of that mentality. Hitva atmapatam gruhamandha kupam. The mentality of attachment to my body and to my home, thinking everything to be eternal. Hitva, give it up. That which degrades the soul. Vanam gato yad harimashrayeta. Take shelter of Lord Hari by going to forest or Vrindavan. Or in the modern terms, take shelter of Krishna consciousness wherever you are. Grihe dako vane dako sada hari bole dako. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur says in this song, whether you are at home or you are at forest, sada hari bole dako. Always chant the name of Lord Hari. Then it is as good as going to forest and taking shelter of Lord Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Prabhupada, one time he mentioned, took this verse and he said, because one disciple came to him and he said, Prabhupada, we came to Vrindavan to enjoy this atmosphere of the holy place. And we went to one temple, Radha Krishna temple in Vrindavan. There we met with one probably from a pujari or from that background, descendant of that family. So he was not very pleased with us. He expressed his displeasure. And Prabhupada asked why. He said, no, you're all mlechas coming from Western countries. And yeah, you may be doing chanting and all that. But if you want to be liberated and go back to Godhead, you have to take birth as a proper Hindu and become a pujari and so on and so forth before you can think of going back to Godhead. So Prabhupada, he was upset about that and he said, you see, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prabhupada quoted that shloka, Dehinosmin yadha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara, the same shloka that we are discussing. So Krishna is saying, not we are saying, that the body is changing constantly. Isn't it? The body is changing. Say, if you are born in the Western countries, you are born with a particular body, particular tendencies, breaking four regulative principles. Yes, you may have a body like that. But by following the process of Krishna consciousness, your body is changing, isn't it? Your body is becoming cleared of its tendencies. Krishna himself is saying the body will change. How it will change is up to you, what process you follow. If you follow a good process, the body will change for the good. In fact, the Shastra says, when you take initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, your body becomes purified. तथा दीक्षा विधानेन द्विजत्वं जायते नृणाम यथा कांचन ताम याति कांस्यम रसविधानतः तथा दीक्षा विधानेन द्विजत्वं जायते नृणाम. So Sanatan Goswami gives this example. Yatha kamsyam, yatha kanchanatam yati kamsyam rasavidhanatah. It seems there is a chemical formula by which a copper can be turned into gold by the mixing of mercury and all of these things. So copper, its nature is completely different. Gold is completely different. But copper can become gold. Similarly, by the process of diksha, by the process of initiation, initiation is not merely a ceremony where somebody gives you beads and automatically your body is changing. No. Diksha means accepting Bhaktilata Bija, accepting the Bhaktilata Bija given by the spiritual master, which means following the rules and regulations given by the spiritual master, which will change your body, your mentality, your inclinations. That is real Diksha. It's not a magical process, it's a transformational process. You have to follow what is told to you by the spiritual master. Then you can see the change. So, Diksha Vidhanena Dvijatvam Jayate Nunam. One can become a Dvija. Dvija means twice born. Once by the parents and once by the spiritual master. When the spiritual master initiates you, that is your second birth. Dvija. So, any person from any background, if he accepts a bona fide spiritual master, he can become a Dvija. So, based on this verse, you have become purified. They should not claim that only they are purified and you are not purified. So the other thing we can understand from this verse is that the Prabhupada mentioned elsewhere how many of these modern religions, they are meant for those who are envious. And now this is a very hard-hitting statement. Why? Why it is meant for envious? You see, this material world, everybody is envious. To become envious. If somebody is progressing, we become envious. That is the nature. You cannot deny that. In your heart, we all agree that we have enviousness. The spiritual world, there is no enviousness. Material world, there is enviousness. I'm envious of you, you are envious of me, we are envious of somebody. It is a society of enviousness. But Srimad Bhagavatam, the process of Krishna consciousness, the Bhagavata Dharma is a process of Nirmatsaranam, meant for those who are not envious. Dharmaha prodhita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. This Bhagavad Dharma is meant for those who are not envious. So, then one devotee asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you are saying this, the modern religions, that dharma, whatever dharma the modern religion profess, in the name, it could be in the name of Hindu even, Muslim, Christian, whatever it is. Why is it considered envious religion? Prabhupada clarified, they said, any so-called religion, if they are not following the proper doctrine given by God or a bona fide personality, it is a made-up religion. For example, Krishna said, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. Surrender unto me. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Real dharma is what God gives, not what you accept. Now if somebody comes and says, no, that is not dharma. Krishna is not God. No, real dharma is do this, worship this devata. Or real dharma is you perform this ritual, you get something in return. That is not dharma. That is a made up dharma. That is a concocted dharma. By doing which you are really encouraging the self centered nature of the jiva, how I can get something in return, why they are getting. So you are promoting enviousness. And there are rituals by which you even offer animal sacrifices. Why? You want to be happy at the cost of the life of another animal. So, any dharma which is not given to you by God, it is a concocted dharma. You manufacture some ritualistic ceremonies, some formulas, some dogmas. That is cheating religion. That is not religion. First class religion is Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokchaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Now it is a fashion. Some people come and say, no, I believe in this religion. No, we can all do whatever religion we want according to your belief. Yes, that may be your belief, but that is not a proper religion. Religion means it has to be a science also. Religion is not whatever you say, whatever I believe, it's religion. It's like saying, whatever rules I follow, government has to accept. No, how to drive on the street, how to live, the framework is given by the government. If you form your own framework, that is not authorized. That is cheating. That is concocted. We believe in this way, we believe in that way. No. If you believe in something wrong, is that to be taken as religion? So the point why I am saying is because Prabhupada mentioned this point to give another example of this verse, Tada Dehantara Prapti. It is not about Hindu belief or some belief. It is a factual statement made by Krishna. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara. Just like the child is becoming boy, boy is becoming young man. This is science. This is not belief. Why do you say it is Hindu belief or a Muslim belief or a Christian belief if they follow a bona fide book of God? If it is actually given by God, it is science. So we can all see that we are all going through these different stages. So it's not a question of belief. It's religion means the law given by God and we accept it and then we can make progress. Not accept a concocted religion. So that is another thing we can learn from this shloka. I'll stop here. Anyone has any questions or comments? You can unmute yourself. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada